I didn't see Ride Along 2. I mean, I didn't really
Mm-mm.
like the first one.
No, I didn't either.
I'm a little over Kevin Hart at this point. But 13 Hours has gotten some pretty decent
Yeah, I
reviews
saw Rotten
too.
Tomatoes. Not bad,
Yeah,
actually.
I'm not a huge Michael Bay fan
No,
myself, so I didn't
no.
really want to see it. But that's not bad. I mean, that's a little low for a Michael Bay movie, but it was a lower budget movie. And in January, probably thought of last year this time, American Sniper came out in
Yep.
January and was hugely successful. So yeah, I mean it wasn't a bad weekend. We've
Mhm.
definitely seen a lot worse. I still wish Star Wars was number one, but
Yep, I've seen that 3 times. Need to see it more.
I do too. I've only seen it twice. I'm lacking. I need to go back at least a few more.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't seen The Revenant yet. I was going to go see it, um, with a friend, and we had the wrong time down. It said start at 7 online, and it started at 6:40 here at the theater. So we went and saw Joy instead, which was a pretty good movie. I
Oh.
thought Jennifer Lawrence was really good.
Do you think she deserved the Oscar nomination? Because a lot of people are saying that maybe she didn't.
She's riding that popular wave, I think, right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
She was really good in it, though. Like,
Okay.
the whole film centered around her.
Oh,
And
yeah, sure.
I did like her more in this one than I did in American Hustle,
Oh, okay.
where she got the Oscar nom there,
Yeah.
too. So I think if any of them, I haven't seen Silver Linings Playbook, which she won.
Yeah, that was really good.
So I think between the three, obviously if she won, then she deserved it. But
Mhm.
between American Hustle and this one, I think this one deserved it
Okay.
more than American Hustle.
Yeah, it's been getting some weird backlash. Like a lot of people really don't like it that much, which is strange because I'm a big David O. Russell fan. I've liked all his movies so far, and I kind of wanted to see it, but I don't know. A lot of people were bashing it pretty hard, and just I think it's one of those things too. Like you said, the popular train, but I think that caused a lot of people to hate on her too.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't one of her best performances, but she is so popular that people automatically are like, oh, we're sick of seeing her all the time. But I do want to see it. I should get around to see it. I did see The Revenant last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. It was a good day to see it because it was 15 below.
Oh,
outside.
yeah, it's cool.
So I'm sitting in the theater, it's like, oh man, really good. I don't know. Will we get into Oscar talk later?
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
we'll
bump
save
it
that.
down, and we can look up the Oscar noms
Okay,
and go through
okay.
that.
I'll save that then.
Yeah, but Star Wars is killing it right now. As we'll talk about some of the bigger news here. Don't forget you're listening to KOR 91.1 FM. USD Movie Talk's on right now. All right, so here's some of the bigger topics of the winter break. Star Wars: The Force Awakens has kind of dominated the entire winter break. It's shattered multiple box office records, and it's towards its way to $2 billion, which hasn't happened since Avatar, which is the highest grossing.
Yeah.
And there's talks that it's going to dethrone Titanic, but it won't catch Avatar, they're saying.
No, I don't think it will. But
China opened up pretty weak, actually.
I know I was kind of disappointed by that too. But they said, people are saying Star Wars isn't nearly as big in China as it is
Yeah.
over here, which is weird. Apparently, it's huge in Japan, but China just doesn't have the Star Wars fever.
It's not very often you see a film take this much domestic, almost compared
Totally,
to
yeah.
because right now it's like usually you got a film, those big budget films, domestic you're hoping
Yep.
for 500, 600 million, and then worldwide, which you hope for $1 billion or something like that.
Mhm.
And Star Wars, they've gotten $1 billion internationally and like 800 million in
Yeah,
the U.S. So I mean,
which
they
is
bank off
nuts.
the U.S. a lot in this film.
Totally, yeah.
So, and then the other news that dropped, and now the news changed as of yesterday too a little bit. I wrote this down last night, and I woke up this morning and read a little bit, and it's changed even. So we'll talk about that. But Star Wars Episode 8 was moved back to December 15th of 2017, which
Yeah.
would have set it on a collision course with Avatar 2. But then I read this morning, Avatar 2 is way behind, and they are not going to make their Christmas Day release.
Oh, really?
In 2017, yeah.
Okay. Huh.
So another pushback for Avatar 2.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of Avatar. I mean, I don't know. It was fine, and the special effects were great, but I didn't really get on the hype train, and
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, meh, it's okay, and with Star Wars getting pushed back, I think it's a good thing, to be honest with you, because even if you look at just the history of Star Wars, and there's this great book out, I don't know if you've read it, How Star Wars Conquered the Universe.
No, I've heard about that.
Yeah, very good book. I actually bought it and read it this summer. But if you look back at the history, every Star Wars movie that was pushed back was the original one, 1977, that was pushed back over budget, delays. And then The Empire Strikes Back was way over budget, behind. And then and they had the same producer, Gary Kurtz, on there. And then he left. And then Return of the Jedi, which a lot of people would say is the weakest of the original trilogy, that was on time, on budget, and like there's something about it. And then The Force Awakens got pushed back, and that's, maybe the third best in my eyes. And I just think, like, when you give yourself more time, that's just it. You have more time. You have more time to do everything better, to do the special effects, to really work on the story. And when you're not trying to cram it all and just like, well, we got to fast track it, we got to get it out. Plus, it kind of makes me feel better that we're not getting so much Star Wars jammed. Like, if we were to get Rogue One and then Episode 8 within 6 months, that'd be a lot of Star Wars for a lot of people. But now if they make it every year, if they decide to do it every December, I think that would be awesome, because it'd be something to look forward to around Christmas with your family. I think it's a great move, to be honest with you.
I think this really, because everyone's really surprised how they went to summer, how big the summers can be, and I think winter can be this December could be a good flagpole for them. You know what I mean? Like, that's Star Wars month, basically. Like, I mean, it was in its 4th week. And at $28 million, it slowed down now a little bit, but that's its 4th week, and it came in 3rd place, barely. It's not a lot of competition, because people are still seeing it quite a bit.
Totally, yeah.
Enough, because a lot of people saw it right away, and again, and again, and again. So, I think December's fine. Everyone's, like, thinks there's a red flag. I think it's just they realized how much money they made, and they said, why not do December and give, like you said, give the production its time. I know Rian Johnson, they had to push back production 1 month for a couple rewriting the scripts, which is normal.
Especially right now, they haven't even started filming yet.
No.
Like, what movie ever goes into production on its first draft? Never. I don't think that's ever happened. So, that's...
And I gotta say, it was pretty, it says something, with the sequel of the biggest movie grossing wise is coming out, and you decide we're going to go 10 days before it. They might have heard maybe through the grapevine that they're getting delayed, but I really think Avatar 2 and Fox would have looked at that and been like, okay, we need to move back, because I think Star Wars, Disney could have been like, you want to take that risk, go ahead, we'll throw Star Wars right in front of your face.
Yeah, exactly. People, like, some people are saying, like, well, it'll hurt both because, they're both science fiction, but I don't think it'll hurt Star Wars at all.
It'll hurt Star Wars maybe a tiny bit, but it hurt Avatar 2 way more.
Way more, yeah, because honestly, to the normal movie-going audience, like, if you have to choose between Avatar or Star Wars, you're going to see Star Wars. Like, everybody's talking about Star Wars. Like, Avatar's fine, but, Star Wars is Star Wars for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think going forward, it's interesting that you said Star Wars month. I think a lot of studios will look at that and be like, I don't know if we should release in December now, if that's Star Wars month, maybe right at the end of November, beginning of December, but especially the end, it's like, I don't want to put my film there, unless it's a tinier film, because then they would make a little bit more just off the, sellouts that Star Wars has and everything. But.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to move on. The other news was the Oscar nominations were released. Let's just look up. I've been pretty busy, so I haven't even gotten around to a lot of these.
Oh, okay.
So,
are you a big Oscar guy? Do you really get?
I really like the Oscars.
I do too. And it's kind of exciting because a lot of the times, one of the things that I really enjoy about the Oscars is that it's predictable, but so unpredictable at the same time, which is interesting, because if you go into it being like, this, it's a good analogy out there that everybody, there's usually like a clear-cut best picture people think is going to win. But when something dethrones it, people get mad and they're like, well, the best picture or the best movie of the year should win best picture, which is a fair point. But it's about the campaign that the studios do to the Academy, and like the best football team doesn't necessarily win the Super Bowl every year. You know, the team with the best record and everything. So it's interesting to watch because you never really know, and there's a lot of controversy. This year already with the, people boycotting the Oscars because it's too white. And,
I did notice that. I was going to look at the best directors and their ethnicity, because I think the ethnicity is not a problem anywhere else, but past,
Yeah. Well, like the last 2 years, best director has been Latino, Mexican. They're both from Mexico.
Yep.
Alejandro Iñárritu and then Alfonso Cuarón.
Cuarón, yep.
So I don't know. We're both white men,
so
we can't really say anything. But it's, I think it's more of an issue of like there's just not as many roles for minorities out there, which is unfortunate. Yeah. And if there were more, there'd be more opportunities. But I don't know. I don't see it as a huge deal because what was it, 2 years ago? Lupita Nyong'o won for Best Supporting Actress.
Yep, and the 12 Years a Slave won with
Best Picture, yeah.
African American director, yeah.
Yeah, totally. So I don't know. That's my take on it, but
yeah.
I don't.
The biggest problem I actually have with the Oscars now, and I noticed it the last 2 years that really bugged me, is they always perform songs, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's starting to get to the point now where the best songs get majority of the. It's more like a music show at sometimes, because then they get to speak and then they speak forever, and then you're rushing these people. I don't know. It just sends, I think, Oh, my mic must have turned off for a little bit there, but I think it just sends off a bad image because, I mean, now me being a big, behind the scenes type of thing, the cinematographer, the makeup, all these people that really started this film, helped behind the scenes, they get up there for 2 minutes and they start playing music to get them out of there. But these singers, who I'm sorry, but I know they make good music, but they come in, sing their album, then they go home and they go to some other place the next day, where these people are there on the set every day doing stuff, and then they're getting pushed. But these people that have nothing to do with this movie are getting lots of talk time and saying what their opinions are about stuff, about life in general, and it just frustrates me a little bit. So I guess that's my biggest problem with the Oscars.
And I'm with you there, because it's not the Grammys. This is about movies. It's not about music. And when, like you said, with all the other production ones, they show us a little montage for a couple seconds from each movie of the set design and whatever, and then they perform the entire song, and you just sit there and watch it. No, I'm with you, man. With the original song, just play the chorus maybe, or just a little bit of it, like a montage of everything else. I don't get why we need a whole. And I get they try to make it a variety show, but honestly, hosting the Oscars is never that good. It's you're there to see the awards, and when you watch it, you're just like, man, this is dragging. It's not that fun. And and I totally agree with you. Even though last year's Oscars, I thought the musical performances were maybe the best part last year, because they were really good.
They were good, but it's hard to not see them as the best part, because it covered so much screen time.
Very true. Very true.
I think I would be fine if they released who the winner was maybe beforehand, and then the best song performs at some point.
Yeah.
'Cause one of my favorite parts is hearing the people speak about stuff. But
totally.
I do like hearing a good song, and I would be down for maybe top 2 or something where less are performing. Yep. But one of my favorite parts is the in the memoration of all the fallen actors. That's a very good. That's very good. They do that very well. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Do you got anything else for Oscar noms?
I'll just for my best picture, I think Spotlight will probably win. And when I saw that, that's what I said coming out of it, was this is an excellent movie. I think it should win. My dark horse is Mad Max, though. I really want Mad Max to win. The Revenant could, but I really see Spotlight as the true favorite there, and it's an excellent film.
Do you think Leo will finally get his Oscar? I don't think he will.
Yeah,
you think he will?
I think, like, based on the Oscars and how they just kind of like to give up, this is for your entire body of work instead of this specific performance. I think he probably will, because it's kind of a down year. Like, last year was so packed with great performances. This year it's okay, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Michael Fassbender took it, because his performance was great.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo's was good. I mean, I just saw it, but the problem with it was, like, what they're trying to campaign for is that it's a very physical role that Leo did, which is, a fair point, and he did good in it, but it's just not that much of a role. Like, he says maybe 10 words the whole movie.
Yeah.
So, like, Tom Hardy gave a better performance because he had a better role, better writing, better character to do. So, I think he probably will, just because it's kind of a down year, and I want him to. He deserves it. Give him the Oscar.
All right, and so that's kind of our Oscar talk. Is there any news that stood out to you that I didn't write down? I wrote down very briefly yesterday.
Yeah, not much that I can think of. Just Star Wars being awesome, shattering the opening weekend. Do you think Episode 8 will break Episode 7's record? I don't know if it will.
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will
Just
either.
The hype won't be the same.
Yeah, because this was like no one really, this had like 3 years of build up.
Yeah.
Since Disney bought Lucasfilm, and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait. And then, like, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I kind of want it to. I think Episode 8 might be a better, full-rounded, darker kind of movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it can.
If they
beat Episode 7.
I think if they keep it as secret as they did, I think it might have a chance. But if they release too much, I don't think.
Yeah.
I hope they keep it secret. I used to be a guy that like Marvel, DC. They released a lot of stuff.
Totally.
They do, and sometimes you kind of go and you expect stuff, which I still have a great time at the theater. But this Star Wars one, I only have ever experienced a film that I've been so hyped for that I've known not enough for.
That's true.
Because I've gone into movies like Joy. I didn't really look at that. My friends was like, "Well, do you want to see Joy instead?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure." And all of a sudden we watched it, and it just everything was. I had no idea, but I didn't have that high anticipation. For that where I did for Star Wars, where I was shaking right as I was sitting down. It was good.
Really good.
All right, so that's kind of the bigger news of the winter break. So we'll start with a couple of trailers, and then we'll take a break at halfway through the show. You're listening to USD Movie Talk here on KOR 91.1 FM. All right, Luke, since you're the guest, we got all these trailers, and I will let you lead them off. So you can go in depth and then give your ranking out of 1 out of 10, or rank it right away and we'll talk about it. So you lead.
Well, we'll just start with the best one, Kung Fu Panda 3.
All right.
It was, like, watching it, I'm not I really liked the first Kung Fu Panda movie. Didn't see the second one. Didn't really care to. I don't know, like, it was a really good first movie. Didn't really see the second one. Was kind of like, I don't really need to see the sequel or whatever. But when I saw this trailer, first thought, I was like, wow, it's really good animation, and it was fine. The more it went, the more it was like, all right, this is definitely for kids. Like a little bit of, like, fat guy falling down and those kind of little jokes, and it kind of gave a lot, which you can kind of expect from a kids movie for little kids to get them excited. So it did give away a lot. For me, like, it didn't really make me want to. I guess it is the third trailer too. I don't know. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10 because it looked really good. It sounded good, but just it didn't really do much to get me into it, I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna go a 7.5. I'm a huge Kung Fu Panda fan. It's like I love DreamWorks, what they're doing with the whole How to Train Your Dragon and Kung Fu Panda. I don't know. I love I own the first two.
Oh, wow.
And I will see the third one because it looks awesome.
Opening night.
Yeah, hopefully. But I don't know. I'm a big Kung Fu Panda fan. I like that little humor. It's got that serious tone as well to it, like that kids won't pick up on, and it's got that really kiddie stuff to it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big sucker for those animated films, and I'll see the third one. I don't think the first two are very good.
Okay.
The first one's obviously very good. The villain is better in the first than in the second, but the second one's like story was good too.
Okay.
What I do like about it is, he starts out as a student and then he's learning and now he has to be a teacher. That's kind of his grand story arc.
That's a good. Yeah, I agree with that.
And he finally finds his family, which in the second one's a big thing. That's the whole story. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. So
yeah, and I have a soft spot for it, I guess, just because I'm a big guy. I was a big kid, so it was cool to see like a big fat dude become the hero, and so I have I might see it. I don't know. I should probably see the second one.
Yeah, for sure.
I see it.
So yeah, all right. So that gets a 13.5. So now we'll move on, and I will go. I'm gonna save my favorite one for last.
Okay.
Unless you pull it up.
Okay.
But let's go Deadpool, the Red Band trailer 2. I'm going to give this an 8.5 because it doesn't get a 10 which is fine, but I guess the story getting at it is he's after his girl, but I don't know if that's the real issue.
Mm-hmm.
But everything from it's awesome. He's just really it's raunchy. It's getting some countries are banning it. I think China did.
Yeah, they did. So it's so bad.
And I guess there's a couple extra deleted scenes that would have made it even worse.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited for this movie. This is the Deadpool that we've been waiting for and deserve. And
totally.
I showed it to my dad. And he's like, "Isn't this a superhero film?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's just like, "I don't know if I could watch that." And he's just like, he's just killing people. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good. I liked it a lot. I mean, it was a well put together trailer.
Yep.
And he's gonna swear a lot, and I'll be ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'd probably give it I'd give it an 8.6 just to be better than you, I guess. But no, I've been loving everything that's come out of Deadpool so far. I know it's talked about a lot, but the marketing campaign for this is maybe the best marketing campaign ever, just across all mediums. It is. Yep. I mean, incredible. No other film is like it. This was the one that came out on Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Trailer too.
So this is a while. This has been out for a while.
Yeah, and I just love that it came out on Christmas. It's so raunchy, but
yeah.
I mean, I can't, and I'm a big DMX fan. So when they play X Gonna Give it gets me pumped up, man. This is definitely one of my most anticipated of 2016. I cannot wait to see it. And it gets me even more excited when China and other countries ban it, because I'm like, they're sticking to their guns, man. Like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, they wouldn't go back and change it. I do like that. Yeah, and he shouldn't change Deadpool.
No, it needs to be rated R for sure.
Yep. All right, so take us away with another trailer.
Okay. I'm going to give you, we'll do the Legend of Tarzan teaser. This one actually really surprised me. Mm-hmm. I actually really like this teaser. It got me. I don't know, like, Tarzan movie, blah, I was like, whatever, it's going to be terrible, just like, a couple years ago when they made those two, like, Hercules movies in the same year, and now I don't know. It's just like the Disney made a good one. The animated one's really good, and I had no interest in this, but it came out, so I was like, whatever, I'll watch it, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
It really surprised me. I was like, man, this looks really good, and the CGI looks really good, and the only thing, this has nothing to do with my rating of the trailer or anything, but the last time I watched Tarzan, the Disney one, I had this thought of like, why doesn't he have a beard? Like, he's a full-grown man.
That is true. Yeah.
Like, he has this long hair, but like, why doesn't he have a beard? Like, he totally would have a beard if he's, but that does nothing to do with this. But, boy, I really like, and it still could be terrible, but this teaser was really good. It got me, so I'm gonna give it a 9 because it really surprised me.
This is actually my favorite trailer.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, I stole your
It's all right. I'm giving it a 9.5. it was a teaser, but yet it gave us enough. And I just loved the dialogue at the beginning.
Totally.
The shots are amazing.
They
that
are
jungle
very
shots,
good. Yeah.
I couldn't tell. At first, I thought very good CGI, but then I kind of looked at it. It wouldn't surprise me if they actually went out and filmed that, got on a helicopter, did their shots, overhead shots, and then that house in the trees. That'd be scary to be up there in a storm, though, man. I'd be scared. But that was cool. The whole. Oh, the light just turns off. Okay, good. My mic's not turning off on me. But
I'm just talking to myself today.
Yeah, they're all hearing you. But I'm not too concerned actually about this film.
Okay.
One reason
I didn't really look into it, so I'm not sure who's directing it. I like the actor.
David Yates.
Okay.
So he directed most of the ending Harry Potter films, the beginning ones, and then so he's the one that directed the last 4 Harry Potter films. And I believe he directed. No, but he did direct the last 4 Harry Potter films, and he directed the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Personally, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, just because.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not a big. I think what he did with them are very good. I like the story aspect. I think the movies could have been a lot better. This is me just ranting really quick about Harry Potter. If the main character wasn't Harry Potter, everything else I was fine with. Not Daniel Radcliffe. He did a great job with Harry Potter, but I'm just not a bit for some. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it because I'm gonna talk Tarzan, but. This, I don't know. Those apes, dude, look great.
Really, really great.
Just the shots they showed. I like movies that there's a lot of movement to them, not just sit. You know. And some shots you need that, but he just had a lot of movement. He's got the apes coming up, and you have him running. Margot Robbie's. Her dialogue too, describing him, and then you've got Christoph Waltz and kind of playing that bad guy.
Really good casting.
And Samuel L. Jackson, that ape that almost bites him. That's a good shot. I just think this movie, the trailer was well built. The thing that really got me was just the music. Sounded very cinematic, which I get the whole using a song. That's fine. It works a lot of times, but this music was very cinematic, and the dialogue, voiceover was perfect. I don't know. I really liked. I couldn't believe this trailer when it came. I just clicked on it, and I was like, I was thinking the same thing. Like, Tarzan, really?
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a guy and then Jane. And it was really good. I had a lot of.
Absolutely.
Because it seems like. They're playing more on the aspect of not just Tarzan, but like the apes as well. And that part's gonna be cool. So, so that
gets
that's in first place with a 18.5.
Boy, I am good at math. You can tell I have a degree.
Let's go with one more, and we'll take a quick break.
Okay.
You guys listen to USD Movie Talk here on KOR 91.1 FM, and we're gonna be talking Neighbors 2 trailer now.
Okay.
I'm going to give this a 7.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
What did you think of the first Neighbors?
I actually really liked it. It was a new take on like a comedy.
Made a lot of money too.
It did. This one though, I get what works. 22 Jump Street. The great thing about 22 Jump Street is the whole time they kept looking at not at you, but like they're telling us it's the same exact case. So you're basically watching the exact same movie but a little different. And I feel like that's what's happening with Neighbors 2, except for Sorority. I know they go and get his help, but I don't know. I'll still watch it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I will too.
It's nice to see a sequel, Sorority this time. So
yeah, I think. I was a little disappointed by this trailer just because I really liked the first one, even though it was a little bit formulaic, but still a really good movie. And I don't know, this one, I still really liked it. I'd probably give it a 7 as well. I think that's fair, yeah. Because it was like, all right, we're back, and then it's like, well, we can't do another frat house, we'll do a sorority house, which makes sense. I'm glad they didn't, but there's some of the jokes really worked in the trailer, but some of them didn't for me. And I don't know, I'm excited to see Rogan and Zac Efron team up again because they had really good chemistry.
Yeah, they did.
So I'm like you said, I'm gonna see it, but this trailer didn't really wow me because it, like you said, it feels exactly the same as the first one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they made such a big deal about Selena Gomez being in the movie, but I don't even think she's gonna be a main character.
No, because she was in the one, and then she's all.
She seems like the blonde girl will be the main antagonist.
Whatever her name is, Kick-Ass Girl. That's all I know her as.
I don't know. Chloe.
Grace Moretz.
Grace Moretz. Yep.
I don't know if she took Grace off or not.
Yep, it's on there.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's gonna get a 14. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, so just stay tuned here on KOR 91.1 FM.
Support for programming on Coyote Radio is provided in part by Blaine's Body Shop. Located at 1205 Carr Street, Blaine's Body Shop covers everything from collision repair to automotive paint to frameworks and glass replacement. Support for programming on Coyote Radio is provided in part by Ottendots. Located at 11 Elm Street, Ottendots offers antiques, collectibles, and Native American artwork.
Interested about law and the current legal issues affecting America? Tune in to first-year law students Luca Renzi and Alex Sigg, hosts of In the Law, Mondays at 1 p.m.
Hello and welcome back to KOR 91.1 FM here at Vermilion, South Dakota in the L. Newhart Center, and it's USD Movie Talk. We're back after that quick commercial break, stocking trailers for. We're just ranking them on a basis of 1 to 10. We got about 5 more left, so we'll round these out.
Okay.
I'll let you lead off with the next one.
It's a lot of pressure. Let's do. Since we were talking David Yates, we'll go into Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
Not a lot of footage, actually.
No, it was just like.
A lot of black screen and text.
It's almost. I'd probably, honestly, I don't know, 5.5.
5.5.
Like, I'd give it a 5, but it the visuals looked good from the little bit we saw. But I'm not a huge Eddie Redmayne fan. I mean, I recognize he's a really good actor and I respect him, but it's just, and. Like you too, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. I think they're okay, but the only thing that kind of gets me a little bit excited is that it's in New York. It's not in this other world, it's in New York, it's old-timey. I think there could be an interesting element of trying to hide the magic from us normal folk, and it looked okay, but nothing about it really got me excited to see it, so 5.5.
I'm going to give it a 6 just because not a lot of footage. I know it's kind of an announcement trailer, but I don't know. It didn't feel that great to me. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, like you said, I agree with everything you said. So, yeah, I guess that's the quickest trailer discussion I've ever had. So, all right, let's move on. Oh, boy. So now we got nothing but superhero films. So now.
Oh, shoot. Gosh,
yeah, we'll go. I'm gonna go with one of the least two between the other two that I didn't like.
Okay.
Or not as much. Sorry, not that I didn't like them, just didn't like them as much. And we're gonna go. I'm gonna call it 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. We're going to go with Batman v Superman trailer 2.
Okay.
First off, I thought this was great. The start. Still not sold on Lex Luthor yet. I'm not a big Jesse Eisenberg fan at all. I'm sure he'll do fine. We've only seen a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it started out good. I love the conversation between Henry Cavill or Superman, Clark Kent, and Bruce Wayne. I thought that was really good. The music, it starts out really slow and then just picks up and great shots. Then they're fighting, and I'm actually, at first I didn't know how I felt about Jeremy. I love Jeremy Irons, but I was just like, Alfred, I feel like that's too small of a role. His voice is just great in this trailer. And he's I think he's going to be really good Alfred by far. Then the point of the trailer, I didn't mind Jesse Eisenberg at the end of the trailer when he's talking, but the point of the trailer that kind of like was like, why would you show that? Was the whole we know he may not be Doomsday. He could be someone else.
Yeah.
But I'll go on for a little, and then obviously I'll throw it to you.
Okay.
If I go too long, just cut me off.
Okay, well, what I thought.
So at that point, I guess now when I look at it, I was like, okay, I get it. It is actually kind of hard to market this film. Not in a sense of getting people to go, but footage-wise, because it is Batman v Superman, but there has to be...
And you can't just market to superhero fans.
Yeah.
To have a wide... It is hard to market. You're right.
And so there's only so much footage, and you don't want to reveal every Batman versus Superman fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's hard. I get that. I feel like they could have done just a little different instead of showing Doomsday.
Yep.
And then I think where it kind of went, I'm not saying it's going downhill, but then people kept asking him questions about Doomsday. And then all these people, I think the studio may have realized at that point, like, maybe we shouldn't have shown that because now we have to answer questions. And people they're saying, oh, that's not the end of the film. And it's like, don't tell people that because you made it look like the end of the film, which is fine. Like, if that's what you're saying, like, this is that third act. We want you to see that. Now you're getting fans like, oh, that's not the last act, which could be a bad thing. And then I was reading that, like, oh, Bizarro Zod's the actual villain in this. And it's like, you can't, just don't overpack it. I understand you want to catch up to Marvel because they've made, in the end, it's all about money. I mean, if Marvel released 20 bad films in a row, but they made a lot of money, who cares? They won't care.
They would keep making.
So I get, Marvel's made $12 billion roughly, I think, overall. Not that much, sorry, like 6 or 7 billion from all their movies, from 12 movies. Yeah, whatever. And even maybe a little bit more. And I get DC wants to do that, but the thing with Marvel is they never rushed.
Yep.
They just decided to do it earlier, which I'm not
and it was a crazy decision at the time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be bashing on DC or praising Marvel, but I'm just saying they came out and they knew what was going to happen in their films for 15, 20 years. And I feel like DC is just kind of adjusting as they go. And I'm really worried, but I think everything we saw up to the point of Doomsday was really good. I didn't like the look of Doomsday at all because I do like that. I know you can't influence the comics too heavily because he does have that, like, beard and long hair. Right. And I could have lived without the beard, long hair. That would have been fine, but I would just really like to see spikes. And maybe those spikes will grow, but they just look like nubs, like something like Hellboy would shave down his horns. So I'm going to give this trailer, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I really liked it, but just the ending really hurt me. But I liked it. I think never been sold on Henry Cavill's Superman personally, but I think Ben Affleck will be fine as Batman. So,
and like you said, just because this is just a trailer, we're just ranking the trailers.
Yep.
I'm gonna see this opening weekend.
Oh, for sure.
If not opening night, I'm excited to see it. I'm giving this a 4.
You're giving it a 4?
I hated this trailer.
Oh.
Like, and here's the thing, and I'm not a DC hater. I really like DC a lot, but the thing is, I was excited to see this. I liked Man of Steel, didn't love it. I kind of wanted to love it, but I have faith in Zack Snyder. When the first trailer came out, I thought that was an amazing trailer. Yep. I would have given that a 10. That was like, all right, they're doing it right. This looks fantastic. Can't wait to see it. And this one comes out, and just from the opening shot, I had a bad feeling. Just like the shot of the car coming down, and it's just it looks fake, like the weird, and this is just me ranting on this. This is, like we said, it's just a trailer, but like, I don't know, like, it just didn't get me it's like the lighting was weird, and it looked glossy, and then him talking to, like, the two talking, like you referenced, Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent, it was fine, but like, it was kind of cutting a lot, but it was the same conversation, and that was weird. That it was like cut, but it's and then Jesse Eisenberg came up, Lex Luthor, and I was out. Like, the minute he started talking, I could not. I was like, and I'm still willing to give him the benefit of the doubt when I see it because it's a different take on it and everything. And I'm not gonna go in thinking I hated that trailer. I'm gonna hate this movie, but I just, it was so like oh, that's a strong grip. I would not want to pick a fight with this person.
That was bad.
Terrible line.
That was awful
absolutely awful. And I'm like, what are we doing here, guys?
That's such a cliche hint at what they're fighting. It'd be one thing if this movie was something and those two were in the house and like, oh, they're gonna fight all of a sudden unexpectedly. Yeah. Batman v Superman. We know they're gonna fight. Yeah. But go ahead.
And like you said at the end, Doomsday. Terrible, looked awful. And
I was expecting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to fall behind him and say, "Let's cowabunga."
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles looked like frickin' I don't know, like Caesar from Planet of the Apes compared to this. I mean, when I saw that and he jumps in and I'm like, are the effects not done for this? I thought it looked terrible, and like without the spikes, I'm like, what are we doing here? And then he attacks, and then it's Wonder Woman. And I'm like, you see the shot, and I'm like, okay. And then, is she with you? Oh, I thought she was with you. Oh.
Yeah, it didn't work in the trailer.
No. It could work in the movie, but ranking this trailer got me less excited about the movie, to be honest with you. So that's why I have to give it a negative ranking, because when I saw it, I got scared. And it was like, this looks like Warner Brothers is scrambling to be like, oh, people think we're too dark. Throw funny in there. Like, he's going to make a joke about fighting and then joke about the girl. And it's going to be fun. Like, oh, we got to make it big. Like, we got to have this big villain at the end. That's what people like. Like, I could not stand this trailer.
Yeah, that's, when we get to Civil War, it has, the whole, you have to pick a tone for your trailer.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Civil War and how if they would have thrown Ant-Man, it would have just made the trailer awful in my mind. Yeah. Not to say Ant-Man's bad. I love Ant-Man. But, yeah, that humor didn't work in the trailer because we don't get what that purpose of that joke is.
Yeah, and it could totally work in the movie.
For all we know, Wonder Woman plays both of them, and then they're like, oh, well, I thought she was with you. And like, no, I thought she was with you. Like, she's been on your side this whole time. Like, no. Yeah. Like, that I get, but I don't know. Like, yeah, like you said, it made me less excited. It makes me more nervous.
Right. Yeah.
This big project, and Warner Bros. Got a lot of riding on this movie because this movie ended up It's being rumored, hasn't been official yet, but heavily rumored that this is going to be the most expensive production film. I heard that. Yeah, I heard that it got over $400 million, and normally they go $200 million. There you go. So yeah, this film, and then not even marketing. Not even marketing, That's the rumor.
Big commitment.
It came out, and no one said anything about it, but I'm sure it'll be said. I don't know.
And one more comment. This isn't really about the trailer, but I had a good friend of mine, and it's okay because I guarantee he's not listening to this, but we were talking about when this trailer came out. I obviously really didn't like it, and he loved it. So I was like, oh, okay. So I wanted to see what his rationale was or whatever, what he was thinking, and he just really liked it. But one of the points he brought up, and I thought it was so stupid, I wanted to slap him. I was like mad at myself for being friends with this guy. But he was like, oh, I love Jesse Eisenberg, little thing right there. I was like, really? Like what did you like about it? What made you think that was like Lex Luthor? He's like, well, I really liked it because I thought, maybe he would be a good Joker one day. I was like, what? That makes no sense. He's in the universe playing Lex Luthor. He will never, his whole life, ever play Joker. That makes no sense.
Considering the Joker, we'll get the Suicide Squad trailer too.
Oh, God. I just wanted to slap that guy. I just don't get why. I mean, it's just, I guess it's different strokes, but that was a dumb thing for you to say, Josh. Yeah. I hope you're listening to this. Josh Wyatt is his last name.
Well, we'll post this online so you can send it to him.
I should.
But, so we're going to give this an 11.5 overall.
It's a low.
I don't mean to throw X-Men Apocalypse trailer out of there, but if we have time for only two more, if we talk like this for the last two, which I think we will, we'll do Suicide and Captain America.
Yeah.
We'll do Captain America right now because Captain America did release their trailer before Batman vs. Superman, and this is Batman vs. Superman's big answer, and I think they failed. I'm going to give... You go ahead first. Sorry, I took it last time.
Captain America Civil War. This is probably my most anticipated movie of the year just because The Winter Soldier, we actually saw that together when it came out. That's my favorite Marvel movie.
It's good.
Ahead of Avengers, ahead of Iron Man. I loved it. I'm gonna give it a 10. Honestly, this was maybe the best, one of the best trailers I've ever seen. And you hear little rumblings about like, oh, it might not be that good. The Russo brothers have too much to handle. Like, they're not gonna be able to cram all these people together. And you just kind of hear that, and you get kind of nervous, like, oh, And then I see this trailer, and it was perfect, tonally perfect, and just looks really serious. The way it's shot, kind of that ruffian, like guerrilla style, kind of like Winter Soldier, and I was so and like my favorite part of Age of Ultron was when Cap and Falcon were talking about. He's like, "How's our missing persons thing coming?" And this is because it reminded me of this. And so when they have Bucky trapped and like all that, and that line, which I know you'll talk about too, but when Cap's like, "I'm sorry, he was my friend," and then Iron Man's like, "So was I." That's like
good.
Oh, that's so good. 10 out of 10. I couldn't have asked for a better trailer for Civil War than this. I don't know. What do you think?
I said Tarzan was my favorite trailer because I was not expecting it. I'm going to give this a 10 as well.
Wow.
Because I did like Tarzan just a little bit because it surprised. I think it just surprised me more. But this trailer, the whole Tony act. Someone's like, "Oh no!" Like he said that, and some people are like, "Why didn't he say so am I?" I think this kind of hints at it's past tense. So was
exactly.
I mean, I think in the end they might fight together, but they might not. They'll never be the same after this.
True.
Because Captain America is now at this point of choosing between Tony or his friend who he's had just about as equal time fighting along with, being up with. But
it's his childhood friend.
Like, I know, yeah. And I can't wait. This trailer, just the tone was great. Absolutely. It does hint at this is a Captain America movie.
Totally.
He's in it most of
every shot, pretty much.
Yeah, and that right away you kind of get the the tone. He's telling Bucky, "You can't keep doing this." He's like, "I'm not trying to." And he's Bucky. The only thing he knows is to run. Yeah. From what the trailer hinted at. And then you get that Black Widow's like, "Stop this." Captain America's like, "I'm not."
Because she cares about him.
Yeah, he's just like, "I'm not stopping." And even, I think the part that really got me too was Falcon. Even though he'd fight alongside Captain America any day. I think he's probably Captain America's second best friend behind Bucky, obviously.
Yeah, totally.
But you could even hear his sense of like voice of like, "Are you sure about like?"
Right.
Because I can't remember what the exact line was.
I think he said, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because people who shoot at you usually wind up shooting at me."
Yeah. And that kick that he had where he spins and kicks, that was awesome.
So great.
So I get that sense of, I know there'll be funny points at this movie because it's Marvel. Yeah. I heard that D23, they released one clip of Ant-Man like walking in, like, "I'm next to Captain America." And like Ant-Man's going to bring that. Yeah. I'm super excited because it better happen in this film, and I hope it does. And it's just a small thing. Is in the comics, Hawkeye will shoot his arrow with Ant-Man riding on the arrow.
Oh, yeah.
And because Ant-Man, he's just human. But, I mean, he gets super strength when he shrinks, or he has the strength of a human. But he can't get anywhere fast without getting, like, beat up. So what they do is Hawkeye will shoot his arrow, and Ant-Man will ride the arrow and then get big and punch. And that would be cool.
Yeah, they could do that.
I think I was reading, kind of looking at how they're going to each character is going to fight each other. It's going to be like Cap versus Iron Man, Rhodey versus Falcon, I heard. And I'm waiting for Black Panther was sprint.
I just saw that. We haven't even talked about
fast. It's hard to run from Captain America. Yes. He was running away.
Black Panther is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. He is awesome.
Not that he was running away, but he was out sprinting. Right. Black Panther's not a guy that will run away.
No,
and,
absolutely.
And then that last action scene between... My friend was so mad. He's like, "Oh, Iron Man could totally... Why does he just fly out? He could shoot both of them so fast." And I remember, I don't know, I'm sure my friend will watch this. I was once saying how Spider-Man could never take down Iron Man and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, his name's Mark. I'm sorry, Mark, but you're right.
We're calling people out today.
I'm actually calling myself. I think he's right. After watching this, I think Spider-Man could fight Iron Man toe-to-toe at some point. I don't know why it was being so mean to him, but I was just like, "No, you're stupid. That's not." But he's right about that now. But yeah, I mean, I was trying to tell my friend, like, well, his shield's vibranium, so
Right.
it hits hard, and it's 2-on-1. Like,
Yeah,
Iron Man.
And the other thing too is like Mark, if you're listening, is these guys like they're disagreeing, but they're not trying to kill each other. Like
No.
they're fighting to wear down the other one, to knock some sense into him. Like, you know, like if you fight your brother or a good friend of yours, you know, like you tussle around and then like you get the other one to stop fighting, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like you're not gonna grab a knife and slit his throat, you know, just because like Iron Man could fly out and bomb the whole building. He's not gonna kill Captain America. Like you said, they
No.
were friends, you know, quotes I did, and I like if you're, I think they're basically they don't want to fight each other. That's the big thing, is they don't want to fight each other. But that's what it comes down to, because they're like, look, I'm not backing down, but I really don't want to fight you, because we're basically like brothers. And then that's just what it comes to. But I don't know. Have you read the Civil War comic?
I have very brief parts of
Okay.
it. I know Captain America dies from crossbones.
Spoilers, guys.
Well,
in the comics.
Comics. That's very comics.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen the movie.
True.
I don't think that's going to happen. But
I don't think so either.
it'll be interesting to see them use the villain aspect.
Mhm.
Just looking, watching the trailer 15 times at least I have.
Yeah.
It looks like an airport they fight at. I don't think that's the main action sequence, because when Iron Man is fighting Bucky,
as far as like the big end one, yeah, probably not.
I think because at the end that trailer when they're fighting, it's 2-on-1. They're in a bunker somewhere, and it looks kind of like wintry out there. I don't know. That's a great thing. Is only speculate, because they didn't show a lot in this trailer. Batman v Superman, but yeah.
If you're listening, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so I think this is fine. Great trailer. And yeah, is there anything else?
Yeah, they didn't show Spider-Man, didn't show Ant-Man, and we know they're in it.
I think they'll show Ant-Man before they'll show Spider-Man. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they should show Spider-Man.
I think they should show him one shot, just because I think there's that smaller kid loving of. I know they'll go to Marvel, but I think if they also like, Mom, Dad, Spider-Man's in the movie. Like, he's not in the movie a lot, but I think they should show one shot.
But you don't want a Captain Phasma Spider-Man. You don't want to put him in all the marketing to get people to go and then just have him. I think it'd be cool if they did like people are speculating that maybe Peter Parker would be like an intern of Tony Stark's, which would be,
that'd be cool.
Great. I think that's a perfect way to bring him in. But if they did that, Tony or like his assistant Pepper maybe would be like, "Hey Tony, this is your new intern, Peter," and just a little kid with glasses.
That'd be kind.
You know, like just something like that, or like just a quick shot of Spider-Man, just something little like that, or like maybe just like a web, or something little Easter egg that you can pick up on, but it's not like, "Hey everybody, Spider-Man's in this movie."
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna just let you guys know you're listening to USD Movie Talk here on KOR 91.1 FM. We're gonna end it out with the Suicide Squad trailer. We're gonna wrap this up by 10 o'clock, hopefully. So, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna give this a 9.4, just because it can't get a higher rating than Tarzan, like I said, but. I really like this trailer. That song was so good. I'm more excited for this film more than Batman v Superman, just because of the trailers. I thought it was great. I did like the Joker scenes, actually. I know he just talks once. Kind of dynamic between him and Harley Quinn, who is great. I can't wait to see Katana with her soul sword. I thought it was really. I don't know. There's just so much. My favorite shots are that helicopter releasing its flares. I don't know why, but that shot was just amazing to me. This is the only thing I'll say. The only tiny negative, and it's for just a tiny negative, is Marvel never takes shots. Never. I can't say never. Actors of Marvel do, but rarely does Marvel ever say, "Oh, well, we're not like DC because we do this." DC has come out a lot of times like, "Oh, sorry, we don't make jokes in our superhero film."
Yeah.
And this trailer was more fun, I thought, than serious. So I don't know if they can keep making those comments, 'cause especially when Boomerang opens up a can of soda in mid-action.
Or
that felt
an adult beverage.
Adult beverage, that's true. Yeah, probably adult beverage.
Just looking at the character. But.
So, I mean, I'm sure this movie will be very serious, but they can't make too much. Like, they can't, if you're going to release a trailer that's just fun.
Yeah,
you got a good point
there.
But otherwise, I love this trailer. I'm not gonna downplay it.
Yeah.
It was great.
I'm gonna give it a 9.8.
9.8.
I loved this trailer, and any of you guys listening, if you're movie people like us, you probably were aware of Comic-Con, and you probably saw that Suicide Squad had to release their teaser early.
Yeah.
Because it was going to get leaked, so they, Warner Brothers kind of were handcuffed there. And when that got released, that was a great teaser.
That was a good teaser.
And it kind of got lost in the shuffle because it was so long ago. But I was like, wow, that's a really good teaser because it was a lot of exposition, but they did it perfectly. Because it was a good setup and everything. And I was like, that's a great teaser. And pretty much everybody forgot about it already.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt bad for him because I was like, people forget how good of a teaser that was. And then this trailer came out, and I was blown away. I don't know why. Every time I think about this, I always think, like, God, it could go so wrong. Like, I don't know. But then everything I see from it just blows me away. Like, man, I love this trailer.
Yeah.
It was so good. And just everything about it. Like, the song, like you said, was perfect.
That was great.
And even just like the introduction of the one SWAT guy or whatever reading off the list when he's like,
that's a good introduction to characters.
Totally. Yeah, it works. He's like, all right, this guy shoots people,
eats people, burns,
crocodile, eats
possessed
people,
by a
witch.
Yeah, that was good.
Just crazy. Perfect. And Scott Eastwood's in it. Like, it just showed a shot of him. And I like Scott Eastwood because he's Clint Eastwood's son. He looks just like him. That's the only reason I like him. So this is a good role for him. But yeah, and like, because I think we had talked about last time I was on, because they had just released an image for Killer Croc. And we were kind of like, I don't know if it's going to fit. Like, with this.
I think he's a little small to be Killer Croc. But
yeah.
It did look good, though.
It looked really good, which was surprising because I thought that might be the thing that sticks out. But he's just like, he eats people. And I was like, that's great. That's a great way to introduce him. And Will Smith as Deadshot looks good. It looks like he doesn't really wear the mask much.
Yeah, I love the mask.
I do too.
I hope he does wear it more.
I hope he does too when he's like, let's save the world. But when you see him in that jail cell as like this broken man just looking out and then like taking on the guys.
He looked like he wanted to fight, but he looked like he had no energy too because he got beat up fast.
Yeah. And I because that's one thing I was worried about too is like, well, will Will Smith just be, the movie star Will Smith and not actually be this character? But it looks like he's bringing a lot to it, and I love this trailer. It's really fun to rewatch. It looks like so much fun, and the Joker looks incredible.
Yeah, it does.
That laugh was amazing, and him laying with all the knives, just like, so good.
It was
so good.
Yeah, I really like that. Just the shots, the Joker looks. I was surprised. Really excited to see Batman come in and play in this.
Yeah, and you saw the car that we saw in the.
I think he's gonna be mad at Viola Davis for putting the squad together. I think that's. I wonder if that. I think that might be his reason for coming in, and the Joker resurfacing.
Right. Could be a flashback.
Could be a flashback too. You're right. That is very true. That could be a flashback. Yeah, I'm really excited. Excited. David Ayer, I got a lot of faith in him. More than Zack Snyder. I'm not gonna get into Batman v Superman. I'm not a big Zack Snyder fan at all.
Yeah. I like him. I like him more than most people, just because I love Watchmen a lot. I really like Watchmen, which a lot of people are kind of cold to that, and I get that he's more visual or whatever. But David Ayer really hasn't had like Sabotage
and Fury,
and which Fury I liked way more than I thought I would.
Yeah, that was good.
It was really refreshingly dark and a really good movie. And Sabotage was okay, you know, but I think he really took this. I think this was a perfect movie
for him,
and I think he's really taking advantage of
kind of like James Gunn feel too.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Smaller known,
kind of like
him big.
The opposite of like Guardians of the Galaxy was the most fun Marvel space movie, Star Wars, and this is the most fun, dark, twisted, evil movie for DC, which is an interesting. I'm really excited. It was a great trailer.
Yeah, I think so too. So, all right, we'll just coming in first place for our trailer rank was Captain America: Civil War trailer number 1, followed by Suicide Squad, Tarzan, then Deadpool, Neighbors 2, Kung Fu Panda, and in the last two spots were Fantastic Beasts and Batman v Superman with 11.5s.
Oh.
But, yeah, that's all the time we have for it.
Can I do a quick shout-out?
You may.
Quick? Okay. I just want to give a shout-out to this podcast I was on. It's called The Magnificent Seven, also Movies Egg. It's on the Eat Sleep Movies network. They didn't ask me to do this, but I started listening to this podcast. It's kind of a newer one for movies, and if you want to get into podcasts, it's a really good one because they do top 7 lists on Tuesdays, and then on Fridays they do a Movies Egg. It's a tournament form show, and I tweeted at them just saying I like their podcast, and they asked me if I wanted to be a tiebreaker. So I was actually on 2 of their podcasts.
Oh, cool.
And it was a lot of fun, and then they mentioned me another one. I'm a big fan of theirs, and they're becoming really big. So if you tweeted them and say I